The next train to arrive, platform 1 goes to...
Sydney, Australia receives an important visitor. He's the Marquis de Monk, with his wife, the Lady Prunella, and their overgrown son, Egbert. The Marquis is the world-famous philosopher who observed that monkeys look funny because they resemble people. But now it's time for a spot of tea. The Marquis gets several spots all over himself. The Marquis, the old roue, has a weakness for sugar. Egbert tries to horn in and receives some fatherly affection. After a hearty meal, there's nothing like a bit of relaxation. Does your cigarette taste different lately?
End bracket.
Cool. Okay. Simon Carter, thanks so much for being here in my garage.
Thank you for having me in your garage.
I'm so stoked you're here. I'm a huge fan of the Cops.
Thank you.
And I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to start with an open-ended question and interview you. But
Right.
instead I'm going to interview me.
Sure.
And just say, I was just going to say, I have met you before a few times.
Yes.
In passing. The first time...
Was I nice?
Yeah, you were.
Good.
You were nice.
Excellent. Good.
One time you seemed a little out of it, but I don't know.
What do you mean out of it?
Well, I met you at a gig, and I think we were both drunk.
You can call me anytime. Call me when the clock's hit midnight.
And the weird history for me is that you know how when you get into bands heaps, everyone has like their first bands they get into. And I think for me it was maybe like Powderfinger and Foo Fighters, Queens of the Stone Age.
Sure.
And the Cops were my fourth one. Like, so that was my
Fourth is okay. I can handle fourth.
No, I didn't mean fourth in order. I just meant that was getting...
Joke.
First time was when I was in year 10.
Right.
2004, saw you guys in a JB Hi-Fi.
Oh, was that in the city?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually found that tape the other day on video.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you'll
I don't know,
see.
it's not that awesome. It's like, dude, what are you wearing? Yeah, it's like, oh.
I remember with that gig, I was looking around, but I didn't have time before the podcast, but I have a signed CD.
Really?
That I got you guys to sign.
You know it's not worth anything.
Obviously, you guys had a huge lineup change between the bands.
Yep.
Then you did the Cop second album, which is a fucking corker, and it's pretty rare that I enjoy bands' second album as much as the first when it's almost a fucking different genre.
Yeah.
Which you guys did.
That's good. I'm glad you did. It's
Yeah.
like, because you're the person that I was aiming at.
Thanks, man.
That's why I like bands like Beck and Bowie and stuff. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you can't go with an artist to where they're going next, it's like, well,
Do you feel that there's a lot of that shit? I mean, the sort of discarding of artists sometimes when they like. Remember how big Kings of Leon were?
Yeah.
Remember how big they were?
yeah, massive, yeah.
Yeah. And then they did that one album, which wasn't great, and it was poppy, and I am
Sex on
guilty of it.
Fire?
Yeah, that album. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then I never went back to another album of theirs.
Yeah.
And I loved them before that.
Yeah, but that was them just like opening their legs. It was
Yeah.
like,
I bet you there was probably one member of that band just going, "Oh, I don't feel right about this shit." Like, just
you
getting
reckon? Dude, you reckon? The size of their
Sure.
bank accounts after that, they would like no one. It's the same the dudes in like U2 and stuff. No one's complaining, I reckon.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Coldplay, I reckon none of those dudes are complaining. Once you make that decision to do a record like that, you're a careerist. Like, if you don't like it, fucking leave the band. Those guys, they're careerists. And I think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And they were desperate to make it big.
But the fucking thing about Kings of Leon, though, is that they were big at that point. That was the weird thing. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but they were big in a different kind of way, though. You know what I mean? They still had
they
that
played
kind of
Wembley on the album
rock
before
cred,
that.
indie cred. Like
Yeah, they did have
but
the indie cred.
They wanted to cross over. They wanted a slice of that U2 pie. What
The U2 pie.
Coldplay have eaten that pie. They've spewed that pie up. They've made another pie out of that
Yeah.
spew, and now they're eating it again.
So who's eating it now? I don't even know.
I don't think anybody. Really?
No, yeah, there's not
not
really.
really
There's
stadium
no
bands,
stadium
no-
rock bands.
Yeah.
New stadium rock bands. There's
Yeah.
no one who's really made that. I guess there was a moment where I was worried that Black Keys were going to go that way.
Yeah.
About 6 years ago.
I
and
think they kind of did, though.
they kind of did, but they didn't carry it out.
yeah.
I quite enjoyed that album.
Pulled back from the brink.
Yeah. They went, hey, let's we can do this too, but we
Yeah.
won't. Arctic Monkeys, probably, I guess, in some ways.
I don't think that he's got the fucking chops for it.
Well, Alex Turner.
Yeah. He doesn't have the tunes for it.
Oh, he does.
He's got great tunes, but to make the leap into stadium
Yeah.
U2 level,
But they're like that. You know how there's those
Doesn't have
English
that next
bands,
gear.
like those English bands that their fame doesn't translate to everywhere else.
yeah.
Say, well, back to Kings of Leon album 3
yeah.
because of the times, and
Yeah.
you've got Kasabian or something who are huge in England.
Yeah.
and
Again, that's another band. They just don't have that extra gear.
no, which is a blessing.
Their brains are like a big sewer pipe, you know? They're full of education, full of religious dogma, and they don't know what anything's about. They haven't had the feeling of what the universe is about.
If you wanted to get that extra gear, right, you need to get the dudes and the chicks that I see sitting in their cars in the morning going to work.
They're just going along in their little Volkswagens, in their cars all day.
And on the weekend, they get fucked up. During the week, they don't
Yeah.
do anything. They go home. Like, that's the fucking people you want to hit.
Off to work, wash up, get back to bed. Off to work, wash up, get back to bed. Off to work, wash up, get back to bed.
Yeah, the people who like everything but don't love anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You turn up to like the new funky cafe that's open and go, oh my God,
Yeah.
did you hear that new Kings of Leon song? It's
yeah.
so, and feel really cool about it. It's like, oh, I'm into Kings of Leon.
It's so weird, right? Because I never was part of this music scene until I made an active effort to be a year ago, because I was like, oh, I need to actually be part of this or else we're not going to go anywhere. And it's just filled with all these strange, like, just these people that are trying so hard. It's this, and I'm just kind of like, what are you trying to gain from
They're like advertising agencies. Like, they all like sit around and like I used to work in catering and I used to deliver to all these places. And it's like, it's totally like Nathan Barley. Have you seen Nathan Barley? Okay,
No.
you need to watch Nathan Barley. It's like Nathan Barley, but they didn't realize that they were actually in Nathan Barley.
What is Nathan Barley?
I can't even explain it to
Okay.
you. It's very painful to watch, but it's like, it's literally, I guess it's kind of about hipsters,
Right.
but nobody knows that they're a hipster. It's genius, and it's very painful to watch. It's like
Australian?
kind of like a
British?
Curb. It's a British.
right, okay.
It's kind of a little. It's not even like Curb Your Enthusiasm. You got to watch it. It's amazing.
Right. All right, I'll give it a go. But I haven't really seen a good send up of hipsters. I mean, there's Bondi hipsters, but whatever. But I mean, but it seems like that thing. Everyone acted like hipsters was so new. People trying desperately to be cool is not new. That's
Oh yeah, there were loads of hipsters in the early 2000s. Are you serious?
yeah, of course. There was
So
the 90s and everything. It's
Yeah,
always been hipsters. But yeah, it's kind of weird. There was one lyric that you had on the second album that kind of stood out to me. And I'm not saying this is some sort of interviewer who was doing research for the podcast he was about to do. I'm talking about a lyric that I always sing and have been singing for like 8 fucking years.
Right.
Which was that see how they shuffle by, losing their will to try, licking the manager's boots all day.
Yes.
And I think that there was a few different things. I used to have a career I used to work for Macquarie Bank, right?
Right.
Yes, so I have a degree in finance,
Right.
and I was a manager at Macquarie Bank.
Right.
And then I'm probably going to bleep that, but then I was working all weekends and shit like that, quit, and then just said, I'm going to get a shit kicker job and focus on doing what I want. That was like
Good.
4 years ago now.
Yep.
But it was lines like that and songs like that. I'm not saying it was your song, but just any song that kind of pushed towards that thing, of which there are a few.
Yep.
It just made me feel so much better about my decision. It was just because you're filled with these, particularly finance. It's filled with these vacuous people that
Yeah, yeah.
The Kings of Leon Latter Kings of Leon.
Yeah, like they go to the Ivy and they're like, they're into that shit. It's like,
they actually, that was actually a thing. It's like, let's go to the Ivy
yeah.
in our suits
Yeah,
and like
Yeah.
that tax
yeah,
and insurance.
yeah.
Tax.
Fiscal
Yeah.
year.
Tax.
Adjustment.
Gift
Tax.
interim
Tax.
deals.
Tax.
Taxidermy.
Tax
Yeah.
increase.
Tax.
Yeah,
Incremental
Tax.
yeah,
Progressive tax.
Taxi.
Compliance.
yeah.
Payroll
Compliance.
tax.
Common
Yeah.
stock.
Tax.
Common
Yeah.
stock. Allowance.
Fiscal year.
Yeah.
Apportionment
Tax.
method. Depreciation.
Yeah.
Indirect
Yeah.
Tax
Direct
deferred.
national
Yeah. That's the worst excuse ever. You don't
Yeah.
have time to listen to music. It's
Yeah.
like, you got time to take a shit. You got time to fucking put music on while you're taking a shit.
Yeah. Have you done that before? Out of the phone?
No.
I think I've done
Done
it.
interviews on the shitter.
You've done interviews on the shitter.
Hell yeah.
Over the phone?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds brilliant. Oh, there is a shitter there, by the way.
Good, because I actually really need to.
I don't want to be one of these wanky podcast hosts that's like Spicks and Specs people just listing off.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. That was.
You're not like that, don't worry.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the knowledge to do that. I'm just like, it's like
Yeah, you
Eric,
do. Don't sell yourself short.
It's like Cream. You guys are invoking Bonham. How old were you when the cops started?
I was probably like 23, 24, maybe, I think.
It's kind of the perfect age to start a band because you're responsible enough to go through all the fucking organising and all that stuff.
Debatable, yeah.
Debatable.
Yep.
Sure. Well, yeah. Okay, that's true. I don't really think I'm responsible enough now. I'm certainly tired enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And then there's too many responsible people now.
doing band stuff.
Yeah.
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 Like what? Like
It sounds responsible.
it sounds.
I can hear responsible people. It's
Is
like,
this? You mean overthought? You mean over produced? You mean over marketed?
Yeah, just
much-
ease up.
Yeah.
Just get loose.
I feel like there's a whole
Nobody
wave
gets
of bands.
loose anymore. It's like,
No, they fucking do. I bet you they
you
really
get
do.
loose. You don't get
We
loose,
get
but-
loose. Yeah, you've never seen us live.
So like, I couldn't, when I listened to like a Vera Blue record, it's like, you're not letting loose.
sure.
You're not loose.
But have you listened to
I
Crocodile?
like Vera Blue, but
Sure.
it's not,
Yeah. Well,
you know,
what about like there's a whole fucking wave of bands that are loose as fuck.
Loose Wave. You should start that.
Loose
Loose Wave,
Wave.
dude.
Perfect.
You heard it right here. Loose Wave.
coming at you. There's heaps of bands out there doing that really rough garagey shit. Like that's a whole thing.
Oh,
Especially-
yeah.
Especially like, have you heard Crocodilus before?
Yes.
Yeah. And shit, like Nick Nuisance and the Delinquents, they're pretty nuts
Amel and the
as well.
Sniffers, they're really good.
Yeah, I've never seen them live. I don't know anything about them other than their
They
haircuts.
look loose.
They definitely look
They
loose.
look really loose.
But
I looked at a photo
how
of
the
them, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I haven't heard your music, yes, but yes.
Yeah, they nailed it. Like, how did everyone in that band get a strange haircut? But actually, I was going to get onto that with the cops, right? So,
Haircuts.
haircuts. Because I was thinking, like, one thing that summed up the cops to me. Don't you dare look at my sheet of notes. This is for me only.
I'm just looking on there. and if you've put hair on there, I'm gonna
I didn't
fucking
put
kill
hair
you.
on there. I put lack
Of hair.
I put lack
Of hair.
I put lack of pretense in that first album wasn't trying to do a genre, wasn't trying to do a thing. It was all over the place in a great way. I heard you say on Depth Perception podcast that there was a lot of sort of Radiohead-ish bands around at that time,
Yeah.
and there was sort of that.
No, not at that time. Like when I wrote, see that record is half and half. Half of it is
Right.
like most of the more rock stuff was written quite a few years before, like 2000.
Right. Okay.
Like, at that time, there were still heaps of those Radiohead bands around. Like
Yeah.
looking at their shoes and just being like, oh man.
Because everything was kind of
So
divided
earnest.
into like that kind of thing. Because this is pre kind of the White Stripes wave. I mean, White Stripes were around, but
Yeah,
they weren't.
that was kind of coming out.
That was coming.
Yeah.
Strokes was 2001, and you had. See, now I'm delving into the Spicks and Specs shit. But
There were lingering Radiohead bands around, and
Yeah,
they used to
yeah.
drive me insane.
Yeah.
It's like, no, yeah, you're not having any fun. It's like, yeah.
the thing that really stuck out to me is that you guys didn't really push to do anything in particular. You guys weren't It was just good music. It makes me feel a lot better actually
thanks,
that,
dude.
that some of that stuff was written like a few years before because we're so slow at writing songs that sometimes I just get it's just insane.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, there was that half, and then the other half of the more kind of, I don't want to say crazy because it's not really that crazy compared to King Crimson or something like that. But it's like the more electronic-y kind of stuff. That was what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And that stuff was written closer to the actual album coming out.
Right.
So it was.
So what, like Fisticuffs and
Fisticuffs, yeah, and like Cop City Music and Street Panther and Wallet Puffer Smokes Keys, like the obvious stuff that wasn't really rock. It was something a little bit different. So it was such a bastard album that was like half and half. Half of it was my demos, half of it was us recording in the studio. But
right.
I mean.
Did you? But it was,
I like it,
was
but
it your
I kind of wish
surely
that
wasn't your actual demos though.
Yeah, my actual demos. Yeah.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Kind of wish that we'd held off and like put that rock stuff on something else, and then I kind of wish that album was I'd written another half of like that kind of shit, because by the time it came out, I
put
was
under a different name or something.
No, just make the other half of the album sound like the more crazier half of the album. Because then when it came out, it's like, oh man, if I see another dude in a fucking leather jacket, it's just like, holy shit, I was just so over it by that time. It was just like Strokes overload, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
All of a sudden it was just like, it's like beards. Beards now.
Beards at the
it's
moment.
like,
You
all
have
of
a
a sudden
beard.
it's
You're
like,
you're talking to me with the beard.
No. Dude, look at this beard. Does this look like a hipster beard to you?
No, it doesn't.
It's not a hipster beard.
No.
This is like, I can't be fucked shaving.
Perfect. To me, I remember you guys not having any. You weren't trying to be anything. It was just about the good music. And
because we're nerds. It's like you can't try.
Yes.
Like if you try, you look like a total tryhard. We were always like, let's not try and be cool because it's going to backfire and we're going to look like total idiots.
Yeah.
Because you can spot that a mile away.
Yeah.
When people try and be cool, it's just like, yeah.
Weird little fact. I like for about 8 years, I've had The Shake from the first album as my alarm clock on the weekend because it's the
That's
only
awesome.
it's the only song that fucking actually makes me just
Do you get out of bed strutting?
no.
Now that it's in my head,
Yeah.
it sounds like you should like bop up and like get like a protein shake and be like,
No,
and like put your suit on and be like shaving and just be like, yeah, I'm ready. Like look in the mirror and be like, fuck yeah.
It would suit like an Edgar Wright movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of the? Have you seen the new one?
I don't think so. No.
Baby Driver. Edgar Wright's the guy that did Shaun of the Dead, and
I have the worst taste in movies ever.
Me too.
Like,
I haven't seen it.
I'm not. I'm unashamed about that. Like, I have the worst taste in movies.
Well, that's
Hey,
kind of forgivable because you got good
aliens,
music taste.
Tits, explosions, aliens, tits, explosions, cars, dude. I mean, aliens, tits.
Are you a B grade movie guy?
But I'm like a Predator fan.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I've never seen Predator. Not because I'm okay. Don't
Okay,
look
this
at me
is
like
the sound
that.
of me walking out. See you later. Are you fucking serious?
No, I never seen it.
Dude, are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious. I've never seen Top Gun either, which is not quite the same. But it's just another movie that everyone's seen that I haven't.
I wish you
you're
had like a
shaking your
video
head
right now and see my face.
Yeah, it's
Holy
pure,
shit.
pure hatred.
No, it's not hatred. It's just like I can't believe that you haven't. Dude, these are classics.
All right, well, I'll
There
watch
are
it.
so many awesome movie quotes in Predator. It's amazing.
I feel like I need to watch a lot more B movies.
Yeah.
Or at least rewatch them. I got home from a gig the other day, and the gig did not go very well, and I was just really sad, and then I just...
Don't be sad about bad gigs.
Why not?
Don't, because you know what? Nobody knew that you did a bad gig.
I did.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, seriously, seriously, it just does not matter. I've had gigs that I've been like, literally, I want to fucking shoot myself in the head. And I get
Yeah.
off and like, My wife was like, "That was so good."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Really?"
Are
Like-
you able to take the compliment then? Like, are you able to?
Oh, not
so
really.
have you learned
Nah,
you've learned to see past yourself or your initial judgment?
I don't know. I think so. Like, I do. Look, there was a cop's curse, and shit went wrong all the time. It's like, let's lose power on half the stage.
Oh shit!
You know,
yeah,
during
yeah.
a solo, it's like, I got no solo. It's like, that shit used to happen all the time. So it's hard, and it's like when you get off stage, you're just like, because you want to play the best gig that you can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But sometimes, and most of the time, it actually doesn't translate that like that.
Sometimes
It only
makes-
translates
sometimes it makes it better.
if you go like this and you fuck up and like everyone's looking at each other going, fuck, shit. Then people can tell. But if you just keep going like, fuck, and just keep going and just take a sip of beer and be like, like nobody knows.
It's true. It's true. Like sometimes it's like comedians. They always think that they've done like a shit job when they come off stage, and you're just like, "Are you fucking kidding?" Like everyone was laughing, everyone was loving it.
Yeah.
And but I get that, and I can't get past myself. It's like it's gotten better over the last year or so since I've been kicking more.
It's hard to do a good gig every time. Specifically when you're playing instruments. Something is always going to happen. Those like gigs where nothing goes wrong, they're so rare.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it exciting. That's why you go and see live bands, you know what I mean? It's like if it was going to be the same thing every time, it's like, you know what? I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to fucking eat chips and watch movies. I don't want to go and see a fucking band if it's going to be exactly the same every time.
Yeah, that's true.
So boring.
Well, I always felt that about the mess hall. And I know you're playing with, how do I pronounce his name? Cess. Fuck, I've been going like check, sec.
Don't mispronounce it because he will fuck you up.
He might.
When I first met him, because Mess Hall were managed and they were in the same building as Love Police, our first record label, I always thought his name was Seth. I think I called him Seth once and he looked at me like... he was like, Cess. And I was like, okay, cool.
Cess. Okay. So he must have had the nickname Cesspool at some point. You don't get it?
No.
Aliens, tits, explosions, cars, aliens, tits.
Rip Gaelic Club.
Sorry?
Rip Gaelic Club.
Apparently it's back.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
They took the entire room, halved it, and put another room in there, so it's like an L shape.
Yeah, but the pokies, right? Yeah,
L-shape. L-shaped rooms never work.
It's a pain in the ass. And yeah, all those rooms where it's just like, to me, the perfect room in terms of making do with what they have is Brighton Up Bar. Have you been there?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So, up above the Brighton Hotel. And it's just, they've made do with a fucking staircase.
In the middle. Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
And it's the perfect size because
good,
you've got a staircase taking up half the room and you do a small gig. Looks like it's pretty full.
Yeah.
How do you think you get to be sold out? It's small venues. It's a trick.
Yeah, well...
It's a trick. It's an old trick.
I won't spend too long on the Cops' first album, but I did, and I've cracked it out so much a couple of years ago just because of you guys were doing the reunion shows. And
see, that was fun playing those songs again. I did that because I wanted to play those songs again. I remember, they're dumb songs. They're like 3 chords.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that. I wanted to get drunk, not worrying about getting too drunk before I went on stage. It's like, get out there. It's like, I can't forget these songs. They're 3 chords. And they're just fun to, shout a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd done so much singing after Black Book and stuff. I was just like, I want to shout.
Hey baby, I drive a Chevrolet. It increases the chances of me getting laid with just a two-legged pussy machine.
But that need to shout, was that because is that why you guys went straight back to that first album? Because those reunion gigs, that was almost entirely first album. And then,
definitely, yeah.
And then you guys did Call Me Anytime as well.
Yep.
What was the reason for including that? Just because it was so big?
I was just like,
I mean, it's a great song, don't get me wrong.
Electronic music, but I'm just not hearing anybody just getting on stage and bashing it out and shouting and swearing and I wanted to just do that again. I was just like, I got to let loose.
Yeah. Fucking come see us, man. You'll have a good time.
Yeah, well, you guys sound like you let loose.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Loose wave.
Yeah. It's lots of loose wave shit. I really like that point you made about you're like, we're nerds, man. It's like, there's nothing.
Yeah. No, you can't.
As soon as you start being cool, there's something lost. You guys are not a cool band, and I hope you don't take that the wrong way.
Dude, read half of the interview titles. I went to great lengths to
Really?
every interview to go, we are not cool. Like,
really?
We are
Okay.
uncool.
Yeah, well, that's a good way of putting it. I think I had to do. I made the point that it's unsexy. Like, we're not a sexy band. There's nothing sexy about it. We now wear lab coats. Like, it's all just going over the top.
Yeah.
There's nothing sexy about it. And that's so much better than having something to hold on to and protect.
It's like most of these bands that are trying to be sexy, if you met them, like,
Yeah.
in person, you'd be like, wow, you're really unsexy. Like,
Yeah,
Why are
exactly.
you trying to do that? It's like, your photo, like, you look like you're on, like, Vogue or something. And, like, and now it's like, dude, why... This kind of
And there'd be so much of that
kind
stuff.
of like, don't do it. Like, just
Yeah.
be yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's what makes you and your band and sound and be what you are. Not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not some facade. It's like,
And there's a lot of that shit. And the more and more I'm getting into music, the more I'm realizing that. And it's depressing. It's not depressing. It's just like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
let's all just have a
you're
laugh.
not like that. You take a shit like I do. It's
Yeah, I
like,
take a shit, and you
stink
hear it
out.
in the podcast.
Yeah.
somehow. Good edit point.
Edit.
So you've got Cess from the Mess Hall jumping for the cops for the reunion shows. And of course, the Mess Hall are one of my favourite Sydney bands of all time. Two-piece band, amazing sound. They did a reunion gig a couple of years ago at the Vic. It was just a one-off. They had like a New Year's Day thing.
Yes.
Were you there?
I wasn't there, no, because New Year's Day. What was I doing New Year's Day? If I was fucking hungover.
Yeah,
that's
I'm
what I
sure.
did.
Yeah.
But
it was a struggle to make.
well,
I didn't drink much the night before just so I would be ready
it was
for
a
the Mess Hall.
monumental show, and I think that Cess had a little bit of a spew.
I know this because I saw it.
Did you see it?
I
Yeah.
saw it, and I had a friend that was being a photographer at that gig.
Yeah.
And he had the perfect shot of just the set
Blech.
list covered
Yeah.
in the vomit. It was the post action.
He drums like an action hero, though. It's like he goes 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's like if I drum like that, I would be spewing every second. I'd be like, bleh, bleh.
It's kind of odd in terms of bands being able to actually break through now. The rules are different, and I want to talk
Yeah.
about 2003 and 4
Yeah.
versus what it's kind of like now.
God, yeah. It's just a totally different time.
Yeah.
Technology's changed. Everything has changed. The whole thing has changed.
Well, I did not buy the CD of The Leader. I bought the CD of Stomp on Tripwires.
Yeah, look, I've got boxes of CDs at home. It's like, I ain't selling that shit. That's
Yeah.
for sure. It's like, well, I'm keeping it for the CD revolution, which is probably going to be in like 10 years or something, maybe.
Well,
But-
CDs sound good, so it would make sense.
Dude, they sound amazing. They sound amazing.
They really do.
Let's not beat around the bush here. They sound incredible.
Better than an auxiliary cord.
Yeah, better than MP3. It's like, they sound incredible on a good stereo system.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're proper about music and you've got good speakers, like I see yonder, and you're,
These are not as good as they seem.
They look good.
$70.
They sounded good. That thing you played before sounded amazing.
It sounds warm and nice and
Yeah.
yeah.
But good music through good speakers. It's like you can appreciate what the
What a
producers
CD
and the
is, yeah.
engineers gone towards doing. It's like now it's like
All right, be honest. You said that you listened to a song from my band before.
I did.
Did you listen to it through speakers or was it through a phone first?
headphones.
Okay, that's a pretty good answer. That's perfect, actually. Yeah.
I prefer headphones because I like hearing the things that go on in headphones that you can't hear in speakers. And I listen through good headphones. Not shitty fucking iPod headphones, good headphones, because you can hear shit that's going on.
What's the like? Are you talking actually over-ear headphones or the in-ear
Yep.
ones? Over-ear ones. I like hearing stuff in ears for some reason. I don't know why. It always makes me a little bit more excited.
Yeah, but the audio is going into your eardrums from inside your ears. So they're always going to sound more exciting.
Yeah, but I don't like the way
Don't
the
let
bass
that excite
sounds.
you, though.
Don't
Because
let it.
just appreciate audio quality,
Yeah.
which has been completely destroyed by MP3s, obviously.
Yeah, well, here's the weird thing. When we were mixing that single that we were talking about before, it was we had to consider how it would sound at a laptop speakers
I
and
know.
a phone.
And you know what? I always do that too now. It's fucked.
It is fucked.
Yeah.
But most people don't give a shit about whatever.
They don't, but that's, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's life.
It's like, just start giving a shit.
Yeah, start giving a shit. That's the lesson from
Because
tonight.
music is art. Audio is art. It's like, Why would you bother in the craft if like the craft is not valued anymore?
How long do you think that that's been a factor, though? That seems to be like
Not very long.
Really?
Nah.
What
Literally,
about all
probably
those? What about all those?
10 years, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah.
What
10
about all
years.
those managers that were like in the early '90s movies, just like,
Now we're gonna make your bench scene. You're gonna make all the stars. And you gotta say your name in lights, kid.
and they're smoking cigars, and then they're like, "Oh no, we shouldn't have done that." That was a thing, right? I think it maybe happened in Wayne's World too, starring Rob Lowe.
Yes, before he went crazy plastic face.
Is he had plastic surgery? I
Dude, you need to look at a photo of him right now because
that's how. Oh, I was about to say that's how a lot of men look in Hollywood.
that is very true. Very
Okay,
true.
now I understand why.
It's just what people are used to. People are used to MP3s. You know what I mean? Like, they
Yeah,
don't- you know,
I'm used to them.
yeah. I mean, but you could have like kids that that are really young that like they don't know anything else. But if you sat them down and you played them a CD in an awesome fucking amazing stereo system, they'd be like, "Holy shit, sounds amazing." Or would they care? I don't know.
I think that they.
I care
No,
because I
the
want
right kid would
better
care.
things. You know what I
The
mean?
right
Like,
kid would care.
I want better things, better, and I want to see the craft in it, which is an amazing human trait that we're in danger of losing.
Do you think we're in danger of losing it?
Yeah, of course we are.
Because of MP3s, because of simply
Mass production, that kind of thing. When you stop caring,
Instant gratification?
instant
Yep.
gratification. When you stop caring about the process, the process is what makes us human. Because
Yeah.
you know, it's
Here's
not.
a good
It's
way
not.
to summarize
It's
it.
not yet about robotics. It's not yet about
No.
that. So we still have to retain that humanity in creating art. You know what I mean? So, and then that's going to come with AI. Like they're going to be completely AI artists.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was definitely going to come. And trust me, there will be another revolution where it will be like, there will be a revolution against AI, straight back to the art and craft of humans making that kind of shit.
But it's still become fragmented enough now that I almost have enough faith that they will be just going, well, you know, the people who like the human crowd is still a good 30% of the audience, and they don't listen to the radio anymore. They just listen to what they want on Spotify, so they stick with their human stuff. And it's still fragmented enough that it won't be a total culture takeover in my head, just from the last 10 years, really.
You know what? You've just totally thrown me like 200 years in the future. People are going to say that. There's going to be like people that only want AI.
Yeah.
They only want AI created art. They only want AI created music.
Yeah, it's just like,
And it's gonna
I
be
am
humanists.
human. Well, I am human. Why would I want human-created music? I want something different.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how they
insane,
justify it.
isn't
Yeah.
it? But that is actually going to happen.
Oh, it will.
It will definitely happen.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's insane thinking about it. Isn't it insane?
No, it really is. And you know
I
what?
don't want any human created shit. It's like, wow.
Yeah. But then you'll have like some people that just be like, no, I don't want anything that was ever created on anything that had to plug into anything else. And then they'll go too far, and they'll be like the musical white
Archaic
supremacists
kind
of
of-
the anti-AI. I don't know. Then you had that huge Cop's second album.
I did, yeah. It did so much better than the first album.
Yeah, it was.
I was not expecting it though. Well, it's weird. The reviews were so bad.
Really?
Stinkers. I've
Is
got
that
a
because
whole
everyone was
scrapbook full of them.
Is that because everyone was anti-synth at that time, or they just thought that?
Yeah, but how could you be anti-synth? It's like we're knee deep in synths right now. It's like
Sure, but at that time we weren't. It was like Killers and nothing else. Maybe yeahs and stuff, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. That was an awesome album. Like I loved
you,
it
dude.
as much
Thank
as the
you
first.
very much.
I remember being like confused when Cop Pop came out.
Was that a single? That should have been a single. We should have done a video clip to that.
I mean, like, yeah, that whole fucking album. I yelled trouble. And yeah, out of the fridge and into the fire, because the day before you were supposed to come on last time, I was just upstairs, just playing you.
Do you know that song had like a 2-minute long spoken word, crazy
the left side.
vocoder? No.
No?
Crazy intro talking about wizards and eagles and stuff, and then
Right.
they made me take it out.
They made you take it out.
Yeah.
Why? Because it was track one, or because it was just on the
Because
album?
they thought it was too crazy.
This is a whole world I don't understand.
Yeah.
Where
I was
you are told what to
very,
do.
very angry about taking it out. Because that, to me, that was the song. The whole song was about.
Yeah. And this is
kind of post-apocalyptic world. And it's like, well, there's no setup now, is it? So it just sounds like I'm talking about fucking refrigerators. It's like,
right,
okay.
very,
very annoyed with that.
I still feel like it was a pretty well-paced song, like as it was. I mean, because I don't know anything else.
Yeah, it just kind of lost all its guts.
Yeah,
to me, it was like the setup was like, it was very like kind of theatrical.
This is
and
the
kind
equivalent of you thinking a gig went badly and me just going, no, it's fine. It's the exact equivalent.
That was me trying to write Hey Ya. It's like I was obsessed with Hey Ya
right, okay.
for so long. I was like, I need to write a song with that beat, some acoustics in it. Like I was like, how am I going to rip this song off without saying like I'm going to rip it off? It's like because I was so obsessed with that song.
Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, within about a year, everyone was saying, well, it's kind of in many ways one of the one of the ultimate pop songs. Really,
it is, yeah, dude. It's one of the best pop songs ever written.
Even weird time signature shit, just littered in there.
So simple though, so simple.
Yeah,
like insanely simple.
It's kind of like a real. When songs like that become big, it kind of restores my faith in humanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in pop music as well. It's like, this is what pop music should be. But it's so hard to write something that simple and make it sound that good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what it's like trying to write a pop song. It's like, it's so
I don't know how to write a pop song,
difficult.
but yeah.
You do.
No, I don't. Cause
you do?
Oh, no, well, the most of the other one, that all those vocal melodies and stuff, that was our keyboardist. And he's like, he can nail something. Like, he can fucking spin gold out of shit. But, is that a phrase? But
I think so. It sounds good.
Spin gold out of shit. Yeah, he can. But we never really tried to do pop songs. But on that second album, that was the kind of genre. Not that you guys were in the pop genre, but it was within that.
I would say
it was within that
definitely
hemisphere.
Pop.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely pop.
I mean, but you guys were doing the 80s. I hate to say, you guys were doing the 80s thing, right? Like, but you guys were trying to pursue that.
It was. I would never ever deny that. Like, you can't deny that. You know?
Sure.
It's like Stockdale denying that he listens to fucking, Black Sabbath. It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. 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 It's like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, come on. It's like, come on. It's like me denying I'm not wearing hot pants when I'm wearing fucking hot pants. You can't deny your influences. And I was always like, this is straight up an 80s. It's an 80s
Is it
pop
80s
record.
album?
Because I grew up, like, one of the first songs I remember hearing on the radio was Hall & Oates. It's like, that is
Which
my
Hall &
jam.
Oates song?
Man-Eater.
Oh, right.
It's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
that's my jam.
Yeah?
It's like, and I was like, I want to write a pop album of like pop. Like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
unashamed, balls out, this is pop.
Have you ever loved somebody? Have you ever had to kick down the door whenever or whatever the man said? I yell trouble on the west wall.
So after Drop It in the Laps, which I'm assuming, so that title, was it supposed to come out earlier? Is that right? Because it's just Drop It in their laps.
No, it wasn't supposed to come out. I think it came out when it was supposed to come out. Because, I mean, it took me like a year, a year and man, I'm not very good at timing. So, yeah, what I mean, it would have been eventually like 2 years. Yeah, eventually 2 years before it came out. So I had that time to write, which is a very luxurious amount of time to write an album. 2 years
Full time. It sounds like a nightmare. I'd be completely caving in my head, going inside myself.
Like, we didn't have any pressure at all.
Really?
No, because we didn't have a record label.
Right, you were in between labels.
Yeah,
because you were with Love Police for the first one.
Yeah, we didn't have a manager. Like, we'd fired our manager, got rid of our record label, left our record label. So
Do you want me to edit?
Nothing.
Okay.
No, that's what it was. We left our record label, and so it was like being right back at the beginning with like nothing. So it was like, yeah, I'm just gonna write some stuff and see what happens. And luckily, what happened. You know what I mean? So.
How did you write the songs back in the day? Because I know that the lineup changed between the albums. Like I remember you said on the Depth Perception podcast that you made the demos and then you basically just retracked them in the studio.
Yeah, I wrote everything.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for you about that then. When you retracked them in the studio, how difficult was that? Because every time we retrack something in the studio, it's fucking. I get a complete two minds about it.
Yeah, look, I think I've come to like the fact that I don't think you should ever do demos. It should just be the song.
Right. Okay.
Because
which is
in
kind of
demos,
more possible now.
In demos, you always capture everything that's right about the song.
Yeah.
So, and I think with those songs, I think we managed to get away with it. I think compared to the demos, the album sounds a lot better. And that's down to Paul McKercher, the producer, who was incredible, and the engineer. Like, he's amazing. So he managed to get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we could have easily done the record with someone who didn't get it, and I would have been just fucking ropeable. Because I'd already done the whole record, like everything done. And it's like, okay, now we're going to do everything exactly the same.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, how much did you use
annoying.
any of the demos in the recording?
Nah. No. Because we got with a label who gave us a lot of money to do the record.
Right. So you
in
had
a proper
you had
big
good
studio,
gear.
and I
Yeah.
was just like, oh,
Yeah.
awesome. I was like a kid in a candy store. I was like, right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do.
Where'd you guys record it?
Electric Avenue, which I don't think is there anymore. It's in Camperdown, just behind the park in Camperdown. Next to Australia Street.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's there anymore. But it was awesome. It was such a great studio. Really good studio. And Turtle Rock used to be in there too. Mastering.
Right. Okay. So see, it's funny. Like it's funny that I've loved that album for so long, and it was just recorded down the road, and I would have had no idea.
I weren't in a West Band, baby.
Yeah. And then after the Cops, that kind of finished up, and you had the solo.
Like bands finish up.
Oh, please help yourself to my beers. They're here for you.
I feel bad, dude.
Well, that's a $2.80 Aldi Red. Why don't you have some of that?
Do you know that the red at Aldi got voted one of the best red wines in the world?
Yeah, by me.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No,
At some kind of competition. It's insane.
The same with they had like a gin or something that
Yeah.
also.
And the beer, it's called Rivet. It's like a Vietnamese beer. It's amazing. And it's $20 a case. It's like $20 a case.
That's my usual supply, but
Dude.
because I was a big fan of yours, I went to get the actual little creatures and stuff for tonight. But I've got plenty of Leo, which I believe is the tiger equivalent. I
They're
can warm to
good.
it.
They're actually
Yeah.
good. It's
Yeah.
like, man, you can't deny like $11
I used
for a
to work
six-pack.
for Aldi.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, you. Do you like Aldi? Of course you do.
Dude, I'm an Aldi convert.
Yeah, it's
so good. Man, I teach guitar, right? And
Right.
I showed it to one of my students the other day, and she was like, "Oh, I've got this songbook that I bought." I was like, "Oh, wow, this is an amazing songbook. We should do some songs like this."
Oh,
Where'd you
fuck
get it
off.
from? Aldi. I was like,
That's
"No
crazy.
way!" I was like, "This is awesome."
Your favourite distributor of canoes and snow gear. Aldi.
And I hated working there. I hated it. But as a shopper,
But man, they sell everything.
yeah.
I just like stroll around. I'm like, "Okay, what do you got for me?"
Yeah, I do
So
that as
I
well.
half expect to find like, I don't know,
Well, obviously they got the changes
Rocks.
every week. Rocks.
selling a bag of rocks. It's like,
Yeah, but
sure.
I bet you that they'd be like really good German rocks.
Yeah.
So finished dropping your laps.
Yeah.
And that came out, you did somewhat of an album cycle with that. You toured around.
Yeah, approximately half an album cycle.
And that's around 2008?
Yeah, 2008. Early 2008, we played our last show. I think it might have been O Week in Adelaide with like Jebediah and
You guys did a couple of O weeks? Because I
Yeah,
remember
a
I
lot
was
of
at
O
uni.
weeks.
Did you do
Wollongong,
UNSW?
Sydney. Yeah, we did Roundhouse. We did. Yeah, then we did it with what's that band called? Children Collide. Fuck, they were loud, man.
They're great. People forget about how great Children Collide were.
They were so loud. I thought we were loud.
Then what basically happened with the Cops?
Look, I got pretty down about the Cops finishing, and I felt a little bit adrift because it's like you go from doing the first album, blah blah blah, blah, everything kind of like falling apart, then like you don't have anything, and then you got to build it back up again. Then we built it all the way back up again,
And
much
stronger,
bigger,
yeah.
much stronger, and then it's like fuck, now I got nothing. So it was it was really upsetting. Like I was really kind of adrift. And then
it was the solo stuff, right?
Yeah, then it was the solo stuff, which was there was a difficult time. Like my dad got cancer, and it was it wasn't as enjoyable as the Cops time. But that album came out of that kind of stuff. So
Well, the music reflected that.
it's
more tone.
Yeah, I mean it's so different from the Cop stuff. But
So the album was Black Book of the Universe.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I confessed to you just before we started that I hadn't given it a listen really until the last month or so, and I felt completely stupid that I hadn't, because I was saying to you before that when you get to that point, perhaps the third or fourth listen of an album, and it snaps snap locks like the bag.
Yeah, it's not like that's not an album that you're gonna get the first time.
No.
I don't think. Like,
and I didn't, but I did last night, and it was.
And it's also it's hard to listen to an album that comes from like any kind of point of darkness if you're not in that mood. Like it's not like I don't put it on.
That's all right.
You know what I mean? Like
I'm frequently in that mood. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's fine. It just happens.
But you know what I mean? Like some certain albums, you can't really listen to them unless you're down. You know what I mean? Like, and that's definitely a downer album.
Everyone should go listen to the fucking Black Book of the Universe. If you're sad, if you're happy, don't touch it.
No, don't touch it. No, it's fucking yeah.
Drawn by the lead lights, do I have to explain that areas sometimes they're meant to be great?
That was 2010.
Yeah,
after a couple of
2010.
years.
Couple of years, yep.
Did you tour with that at all?
Yeah, I did like a little bit of an East Coast tour, but because it was a solo album, like, and I was paying for everything, it's really difficult. And I kind of wasn't prepared for how much it costs to take a band around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, particularly when you're not earning a lot of money, it's just like.
How many pieces in the band?
I think there was 6 people in the band.
Shit.
And after like that one, I was like in the hole for thousands of dollars, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. I mean, I would love to tour this nationally and do all that kind of stuff, but I just can't afford it. Like,
Yeah.
it's just too much. Like,
I don't have any experience really in
It's,
touring at all, so I don't even know the cost of a band that you don't have to pay. And I can't imagine taking around 6 members.
yeah, but that wasn't even like these guys are so awesome. Like, it wasn't like
No,
I
it
had to
wasn't.
pay everybody like wages and stuff like that. It was like even just paying for like flights and just like the logistics of everything. It was like it was really expensive.
Yeah.
And those guys were so awesome. They understood like just to help me out with not
Someone's just done a big shit.
I
Yeah.
can hear that.
Well,
But not going, oh, can you pay me like $250 a gig? Like, that was so amazing.
Yeah.
To help me get the album out, because they believed in it. And like that album would never have happened without those guys that played on that record. Like,
Right.
never. Like, they made that record.
You said you had a mate that helped you. What was he? He was mixing it. Or was
Yeah, Rob. So Rob was a bass player, and I was trying to mix it, and I was like, it's driving me insane. And then he came over and was like, you know what? I need to help you because like this is not going to happen. I was like, yeah, can you help me? Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
And like he made it, like, he was all the difference.
Where was that recorded?
That was recorded in my parents' basement in
Nice.
Summer Hill. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
End bracket.
So who was Beat Club with, and how did you? Was it one other guy? Because there's one other guy in the picture.
Well, it started just me and Todd. Todd was a keyboard player in the Cops.
Right. Okay.
So we formed Beat Club, and then I was I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool with like some other people playing. So we got Nick from the Cops on drums and Archie, a friend of mine who used to play in the Hell City Glamours, on bass. Friend of ours, Yvonne, who was like singing and doing kind of go-go dancing and stuff like that. And it was just like, dude, it was just awesome fun playing.
We're trying to hint utensils to each other with our eyes, and it's not quite working.
It was awesome fun playing live. Like, it was just, like totally. It was kind of similar to the Cops in that it was like just kind of fun shit. You know what I mean? But it was a lot more kind of funk.
Well, it was taking that kind of Cop stuff even further in that direction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it was just fucking fun, man. Like I was playing it for my girlfriend, and she's just going, "Yeah, I can get into this."
It was really fun. Yeah, it's really fun making it.
I wanted to ask you about Liam Finn, who is a fantastic artist. I'm a big fan of his as well.
Yep, he's awesome.
How do you know him?
So Betcha Duper supported the Cops a few times, actually. I think we did a Grinspoon tour where they supported.
When you hung me up.
No, but I didn't write down my question about Liam Finn because I don't know if it was anything more than, what was he like?
Dan from Leader Cheetah, he's one of my great friends now. He was playing with Liam Finn and he called me up and he's like, come and hang out. I was like, okay, where are you? I was like, oh, I'm hanging out with Liam Finn. We're at Barnsley's house. I was like, okay, this sounds like some kind of weird story that like...
Yeah.
I was like, okay, cool.
Isn't it great
Actually, no, I think it was after a gig that they played. Yes, it was after a gig. I can't. My memory's so bad. Liam Finn is a really nice guy. He's awesome. I think I ran into him a few years later and he was just staring at me for ages. He went, I know you. And I went, yeah, I was at that night. Remember that night? Yeah. The next time I saw him, I made a complete fool of myself. Again, like totally like totally fanboying out. But he had Elroy with him, his brother.
I don't know. Elroy Finn.
Okay, so Elroy Finn is like...
I'm sorry, just the name Elroy is
such a great name.
That's a Simpsons name.
It's an awesome name. Anyway, so he
is
like,
great.
and I was like kind of like really nervous. And I think Liam was like, oh, this is my brother Elroy. I was like, oh, you're Elroy. But I didn't say it like that. Like, I meant it just like, oh, you're Elroy. Like, nice to meet you. I went, oh, you're Elroy. Like, I emphasized the wrong word.
You're the one that's been stealing my sneakers.
The more down the track you get and the more successful you get, the more people start imposing these rules on you like, oh, well, you can't do it this way now that you're at this point, or you've got to make this decision, or you've got to really think about this before you do it. And I don't believe in that at all. I think you've got to go with your gut. I think you have to do what's exciting.
Yeah.
And if it's exciting to make a record with just an iPhone, then do that.
I don't usually fanboy out on meeting people like that. But Liam Finn is like, he's an awesome songwriter.
He really is. We'll get back to Liam Finn in a second. But out of 1 to terrible, how did I go at the beginning of tonight when I met you and I was just like, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming, Simon.
Oh, dude, you're fine.
I was okay. All right, cool. That's good to know, and it makes me more confident.
You're like me, like basically just talking to people.
Cool. Yeah, and isn't it weird that that's what that becomes? Like it's very bizarre. But like, I'm as big a fan of you as I am Liam Finn. Like, and I fucking listen to you guys equally.
That's crazy.
Yeah, well, to you that is, but I don't know. It's different things. But it's in the same. You guys have the same attitude. It's
weird. It's weird.
It's just weird. It's a weird thing.
It's weird.
Well, we got our band got our first fan, which is a strange thing.
Awesome.
And he keeps sending us Facebook messages, and they're really
Awesome.
long, but they're very well articulated, and he's very nice. And
Got a stalker.
No, he's just a dude that's just really, really likes us. Isn't that what a stalker is, I guess?
Kind of.
I found that your solo album from 2010, The Black Book of the Universe, was kind of in that feel, at least in that. I mentioned the word whimsy before.
At
like
that
it's
time,
whimsical.
I was listening to that album almost non-stop.
That's
And
crazy.
I wrote that album in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Well, I was traveling around New Zealand, so it was all kind of coming together. Like, Liam Finn was a massive influence on that album.
Yeah.
Massive influence. He's got more Tim Finn in him than Neil.
I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Just in this certain musical way.
In certain songs. But
in other ones, it's very Neil. Okay, what do you think is the relationship between that kind of genetic shit? Like, Liam Finn, obviously the son of Neil Finn, and I keep forgetting I need to provide context. Liam Finn, the son of Neil Finn, and nephew of Tim Finn.
Yep.
Who were, of course, both in Split Ends, and then Neil Finn, who was in Crowded House, and Tim Finn frequently joins in, but Tim Finn certainly you associate more with Split Ends than Neil.
Well, yeah, that was Tim's band.
Yeah, totally.
And then
Yeah,
Neil came in at the end, and Tim's always the crazy one, and Neil's the classic kind of songwriter. But Tim can write a song.
Yeah.
It's like. That's a crazy pedigree.
It was only recently that my understanding of Split Ends and my general knowledge of their songs is not great, but I do have the fucking greatest hits, and the greatest hits of Split Ends is fucking eclectic enough for the most part.
Yeah.
Aside from 6 months in a leaky boat and Message to My Girl, which is pretty much Crowded House anyway. Yeah. Everything else is just
amazing.
Amazing. And it was only a couple of months ago that I understood My Mistake. My Mistake.
That's a great song.
So weird, in your face.
With this kind of vaudeville kind of almost kind of circus thing that Tim brings. It's like this kind of weird, the painted faces and the kind of like it's very theatrical.
Yes.
Yeah. But like it's so good. The pop is like hyper pop, really sophisticated, intelligent, but also some of it's really dumb.
I love something about intelligent, dumb music.
Yeah.
Or at least eccentrically dumb.
Yeah. Oh, they are eccentric. Holy shit.
Yeah, they are absolutely eccentric. The other thing is the Finn brothers. They're aging so masterfully.
Yeah.
From their young ages to now, they are timeless. They're perfect. It's not like watching Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam, but it's not the same seeing them. People get wrinkly, and it seems like the Finns were always wrinkly.
There's a great Paul McCartney quote. Someone asked Paul McCartney, it's like, "Oh, so how does it feel to be one of the best songwriters in the world?" And he said, "I don't know. Ask Neil Finn."
Oh shit!
Neil Finn is like one of the best songwriters ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yes. And something that made me feel a lot better about the frustrating, chaotic process of songwriting, by which I have very little experience, reading something by Neil Finn or an interview with him or something where he was expressing, sometimes I tend to overanalyze things or overdo things, but then sometimes that ends up with our best songs. So I don't know what the fucking answer is. And
I'm sure he struggled in every one of those songs.
Yeah.
But it's a different degree of struggling, I think. When you're that good at writing songs, like he probably doesn't even notice it. He probably doesn't think he's a genius. He just writes songs, but he's just so good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can't have a million Michael Jordans. You know what I mean? Like you can only have one of those people every now and again.
Yeah.
It's the balance of the universe. You know what I mean? Like it would be unfair if there were too many people like that.
I really love the leader.
Oh,
and
thanks, dude.
I'm skipping ahead, and I've got.
That's right. No, you're filling in the blanks between Saint Tropez and
well, there was
where
still
I'm at
Carter
now.
Gordon, and then there was still the Heart. Well, is Heartless more recent than the leader? I was getting confused.
No, it's older. Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Heartless was last year.
Last year it was a single from the album Gorgon that I released.
Right.
I was doing.
Is it Gorgon?
Gorgon, yeah.
Gorgon. Carter Gorgon.
No. The album's called Gorgon,
and it's just
yeah.
Oh my god!
It was just such a dramatic. I just wanted a dramatic like Carter Gorgon.
I was so
not like it's like a different like name or anything.
I thought Gorgon is the name of the friendly tribe of toys in Small Soldiers.
No, it's Medusa and her two other sisters. Yeah.
Right, so you were going
Yeah.
slightly further back than 1998 for
Yes.
your mythology.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah.
then, there's a slight difference between us, but we get on other things, so that's
Yeah.
okay. Gorgon was something else.
That's a depressing record.
No, but it was
not
fucking
depressing.
awesome.
Is like I wanted to just go total. There's no hope in this record. Like just
None. There's no hope.
doom, total doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but when I made it, I was like, I wasn't depressed or anything. I was like, I just want to just go different places. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
and
it's not
try
like-
different things. Like
It's not like everyone thinks that, Josh Homme is a fucking sad guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he just
Yeah.
can make weird, dark shit sometimes. Like,
I just wanted to make the bleakest record ever.
I think you succeeded. It was
Pretty bleak.
No, but it was like bleak, energetic bleak. It was that's what I liked about
Energetic
it.
bleak. You've just started a whole nother genre.
Yeah. Another genre. That album was just, it was weird. It was fucking crazy. That was all you?
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
All done in my studio.
Home
yeah.
studio?
Yep.
Has the little boy holding up with that?
He's good at how to do it when he was not there or asleep in headphones and
Right,
not
yeah.
trying to make
That's
yeah
pretty
A lot
difficult.
of the singing is actually done while he's asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to make too much noise. It's like it's very very difficult to try and sing,
Right.
not make too much noise, and try and sing like this.
Well, I heard that there was. I remember reading that when Courtney Barnett did those EPs, and one of them was like much softer than the other. It was because she was living this like really holy, not holy, cavernous share house.
Yeah.
With not thick walls, and so she had to play guitar much softer. She
Yeah.
had to strum softer and sing
It's
softer.
kind of cool. Like it adds like a thing, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's not like adds its own kind of flavor to it. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Well, it's like we like our for the band I'm in, Wow Wow Wow, the singer is, he's not a piano player, and he sings and plays synth, and the synth is synth bass.
Yeah.
And he plays okay, but he can't play that well, and that's what we work
Oh,
with.
dude.
No, but like he was never a trained piano player.
Yeah.
he was
That's
just
good.
like,
That's what you want.
yeah, and you had released a couple of singles.
Yeah,
You
an,
were
an EP and a few singles. Yeah.
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 What was the EP called?
Eyes Open.
Eyes. That's right. Yeah, Eyes
Yeah.
Open.
Yeah.
Simon, I'm really sorry. I didn't listen to that one.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's fine.
I just.
Don't be sorry. What are you saying sorry for?
Because I'm a huge fan of yours, and I'm trying not to be a dick or ungrateful that you're here. So.
It's still kind of depressing, that one too.
Yeah?
It was like just before I'd done Gorgon. It was like I was kind of like trialing some stuff, and then yeah,
right. What were you trialing? Like what kind of
being dark,
Okay.
dark and doomy.
I'm pretty sure you'd already trialed that with Black Book of the Universe. So that was.
Oh no, that was.
Well, that was whimsy dark.
That was whimsy with hints of
Yeah.
hints of sunshine.
Yeah. There were rays
Glimpses
of
of
sunshine.
sunshine, yeah.
The mountain.
This
and
is
then
like-
and then as you get towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Eyes Open EP was really pushing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there.
I'm
yeah.
not an interviewer,
Yeah.
so this is just going to be have to.
I think you're doing really good.
I'm doing
You're
okay.
doing really well. Yeah.
Thank you. See, this
which
is
goes into the leader,
which is fucking beautiful.
a song for my son.
I thought so. That's what I was going to.
Let me be your leader. I will be the light in the darkness.
Yeah, you know what? Out of everything I've ever written, that's the one I think that means the most to me because it was. To be honest, I've never written anything that's been emotional, like ever. It's all been so unemotional.
Yeah,
really.
or even if it's emotional, it's sort of.
I don't know whether
it's
that's
some.
in a different way. You know what I mean? Emotional about. Oh, I'm really happy about music, but never really like love. I've never really written a love song really, and that was like straight up, like. I played it to my wife and she just bawled.
I played it to myself,
and I was like,
and I
really?
bawled.
I was like, oh.
No,
It
it
just comes
did
from a
make
place
me.
that I've never written before. It's like, yeah, it was very confronting actually. Like not in a bad way. It was just like I've never written a song like this before. And you know what? Maybe I might never write a song like that ever again. But it was just everything. It was just like I need to say this about you and You know,
Well, 'cause
I'm a
there
dude.
was-
I'm not that emotional. I'm like, I'm
You're
awkward about that
silly.
shit. You know, yeah, I'm a fucking idiot.
Simon's
It's like,
here.
and it was just like, oh, okay.
No, when I heard it, I think the reason that it hit me so much is because it just was. You had been so tongue in cheek for so long. Everything was, everything had a weird David Letterman sarcasm to it, and that was what I loved about it. But it turns out that it's not what I loved about it, because there was something else there as well that you had, which was that like the leader was beautiful. Like it's one of my favorite songs of the year. Like I
Thanks, dude.
No, honestly, it's and it's so stripped back, and I think almost because of the contrast to the rest of your career, that almost, if I just heard someone come out with that song that I didn't know anything about, then I would certainly think it's a beautiful song, but because of the context, it was just so different, and some great singing on that song as well. Like
it's just I
enough
don't
takes.
think I've ever actually like sung like that
No,
before.
yeah.
It was like, okay. I mean, I do a lot of shouting and
Yeah.
like and there's some singing on Black Book, but never like really like abandoned every kind of inhibition that I've had and just been like, fuck it, I'm just gonna sing. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what that sounds like.
Yeah.
My normal singing voice, I don't even know what it sounds like because I'm always putting on some affectation or like,
Yeah. And now
doing
that you have
something
the
else.
opportunity, you got to be
I'm
quiet.
like,
Yeah.
It's like I was just like, all right, just fucking sing it.
'Cause I am you and you. Oh, me.
The way you delivered the line, I am you and you are me, I understand if you don't do anything in that style again, but it was well done, and well done.
Well done.
Good
Well
job.
done. Good job.
But it was it's a. I never know how to end a fucking segment. Your dad. We're talking about fatherhood.
Yes.
Boom. See, I brought it all
Yes.
back. How old's your boy?
He's almost 3 in October.
That was broad. I want to do a better fucking. How old's your boy? How did that change your songwriting, Simon?
I feel like I've regressed somewhat. Apart from the leader, the new stuff I'm working on is pretty regressive. It's probably more party than the Cops.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
More party.
I-
The Cops are my go-to fun band.
This is like 5 levels above that.
Shit.
Yeah.
So
This is like a dude that I'm a bit of a hermit. Not a bit. I'm a big hermit. The only
So am
time
I.
I actually get out is like maybe I might go. I pretty much don't really leave this suburb. Really, I'm going out.
Neither do
just
I.
go to the
I don't
Oxford
live
or
in-
like go to Salisbury or like have friends over. But the older I get, the more I'm just like I'm just writing party shit.
yeah.
I'll get back. Oh look, I'll get back to doing
hang on.
earnest. But
how
right
are those,
now,
how are those
I'm writing
two
party
things
shit.
linked?
What 2 things?
Hermetism and partyism. Neither words.
I guess it's like my spirit is partying.
Spirit is partying. It doesn't need to go out to party.
Yeah.
It's just party time.
I got a question for you. Who wanna see butts up in here? I've been searching all around. I wanna hear features hit the ground. Who up for a party? Shaking that jump, shaking all around and down. That's the music.
I've always written shit like that.
Yeah.
Even when I was going out, I was writing shit like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not like writing folk, sitting in a dark room in my house, like going, why did it happen to me? Like, I'm writing
Sure.
shit about like booties and shit.
You've
'Cause
said
I just
you do say booty a few times in your songs.
yeah. It's like, you just gotta have fun. My personality is like that, so
Yeah.
I don't feel like I need to just all of a sudden just start getting really earnest. Well, I will get
But then
earnest
you-
in
but
certain
you
stuff.
did.
I did. I know.
You did.
I am like
We were just talking about
two halves. Like if I get too party, okay, I got to step back a bit. Let's just try something like a little bit more earnest. And then I'm like, this is way too earnest. I got to get fucking party again.
Yeah.
It's like totally like.
No, I absolutely get that. That's exactly how we go. It's the swing of the pendulum. It's
totally
8 years of Bush, 8 years of Obama.
8:36 in the morning, I'm ready to pop. Oh, baby, stop splashing shit on my motherfucking. Was exciting. Hands on the chair, butts in the air.
It's that kind of thing.
Exactly a pendulum. Just keep swinging back, swinging back, swinging back.
So you can make all the sort of either historical or artistic analysis as you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's generally back to, I got sick of it, and I went back the other way.
Totally.
It's illegal. What a baby. It's illegal. It's illegal. I eat China all the time. I'm really what a baby. I'm really rich.
Okay, so you did, every time I start a new thing, I go, okay, so you did this, then you did the kind of chilled out, it's not chilled out, heavy / beautiful stringish, the leader, and now you're going further party than you've ever done
been before. Yes.
Aren't people supposed to like mellow out within their styles as they get older? Because that means you've gone to the extremes of both.
I think it's either a cliche to do that, or like I don't know. Like, do you,
I'm
like
asking
I
questions
know
that
you're
make
supposed
sense.
to do that when you get old, but it's like I don't feel that. Like,
Yeah.
who feels that?
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty fucking shitty to like go, oh, I'm 35, better be depressed now, better be earnest. It's like,
better
dude,
be depressed and earnest.
it's like you're alive. It's like, come on. It's like you're alive. Why are you not?
Yeah.
Why do you have to be like that? And it might seem unsightly that an older man is like writing stupid shit. I just don't give a fuck. I
Yeah.
don't care. Like,
Well, it's like, do you know John Grant?
John Grant, no.
40s dude, been in bands his entire life, and then just decided to do something on his own name, and it's fucking crazy, silly, funky, just ridiculous,
awesome,
and it's so good. And it's kind of like, what's his name? LCD Sound System guy,
James Murphy.
Yes,
I love that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not.
I like him.
I'm not a huge LCD Sound System connoisseur. I only know a couple of songs. But
you should get into it. It's good.
I know.
It's good.
Everyone tells me
he's a good dude. You know, it's like he comes across sometimes as being pretentious, but then the more you read about him, you realize that he's doing the same thing as, you know, he's an older guy trying to struggle with the fact that he wants to write youthful music.
Yeah,
and he
absolutely.
he feels awful about it. Because he's from New York, you know, and they're always like
And
really
that
neurotic
itself,
about it. But
yes,
he's like,
but that itself
he feels
makes
bad
it better.
about it.
But
I
that
know,
is-
exactly.
If I knew that it was,
Exactly.
if somehow if I knew that a 21-year-old was writing that, I'd be like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And I say this as like a fucking 28-year-old, so it's not like I'm like, you know, years ahead. But it's. We were just talking about how shitty it is with bands with stories, and now we're talking about how great the story is behind this guy.
I know, but it is so good. It's
It
like,
is.
dude didn't make it until he was like 36.
Yes.
You know, he wrote a song like kind of bitching about what was bad about the New York scene.
What was that one called? What was it?
I can't remember. I'm so bad with
It was
names.
it was the single.
The big first single.
Yeah.
And it's like, it goes for like 6 minutes. I'm sure that he felt so bad about writing that, but he was just like, I just got to do it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to, look, whatever you do, you have to own it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And he owns that. He owns being an older dude. Like, fuck, he's well over 40 now.
I think he'd be close to 50
Close
now.
to 50, yeah. But you just got to own it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he really does.
Not be like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't be writing that. Nah, fuck it, just do it. You know what I mean? Like,
it's kind of like guys like, I think guys that have aged quite well. I know that you know the guys from the presets, well, like casually you know them, but like I think that they've aged very well,
amazingly.
Yeah,
because you know what? Look, they've got class. Those dudes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they have so much class, and they've got musical pedigree. Like those guys know music history.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like-
they studied the conservatorium, right?
Yeah, but not even that. It's like they just know music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and when you have that kind of knowledge of music, you just age like fine wine. You know what I mean? Like, and you see everything they do. Like the newer stuff they did is like it's so different from their early stuff, but it's all quality. You know what I mean? It's all quality.
There seems to be a huge amount of theory and light touch. There's a lot of gentleness behind the presets, behind that aggression. I don't know how to explain it. I'm
Also, a
struggling
lot
to find
of
the words.
Yeah, a lot of aggression as well. And I think a lot of that kind of aggression is like, if you listen to old Depeche Mode records, like they're recorded so well, but there's this real aggression to them. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that they've got all these awesome elements of the 80s, like DAF, Depeche Mode, all those awesome bands, but they're still relevant. You know what I mean? They still show you how electronic music can be relevant and span decades and still be cerebral. You know what I mean? Like, rather than like some fucked up shitty EDM band, which is like, or dubstep, you know, which is just fucking awful.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the presets, you know, they're awesome.
I think because I sometimes wonder if they just appeal to me because they put there's lyrics and there's verses and there's
there is that, which is a big, you know,
it's a big 80s it's a
thing.
rock structure, you know, to an EDM wrapping paper, you know.
I've thought a lot about this. Is it a rock structure? I don't know.
But it's in the same way that Star Wars is it's a fantasy film with, you know, space wrapping paper or space paint on it. You know, it's kind of
you're
that.
right. Yeah.
So it's not like they might be infused with the electronic
You know what?
genre.
I just think they're intelligent.
Yeah. It probably doesn't even
they're
go
just
further.
intelligent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can tell, like, they're just intelligent musicians.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's to the presets.
Yes, let's drink to them.
Cheers.
End bracket.
Gifts came to him from political parties and delegations of various countries, international organizations, cultural and friendship organizations, figures of various strata, and those who have connections with the anti-Japanese revolutionary struggle. All the gifts are permeated with boundless reverence and praises for Kim Jong-il, who had safeguarded the socialist career and made imperishable contributions to peace and security of mankind and the cause of making the world independent.
You can find some great North Korean music, actually. There is an
Really?
app. Yeah, there is an app, and I hate starting a sentence like that.
How are these bands have not been disemboweled already?
I'm talking old North Korea.
Oh, right, okay. Right,
which really is modern day North Korea because they have not had any influence of other stuff.
Yeah.
But there's an app called Radio
Right.
with 5 O's, I think. And it's just
easy to find.
And all you do is just you click a country on the map and you click a decade and then it just plays you something from that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I need
And
to
it
write
has
that down.
most countries for most decades. So it's really good.
Wow.
Yeah, and you don't get to choose it. It just puts it on. Anyway, so I did find some North Korea stuff that was, not so enjoyable.
Yeah.
So I guess the
could
idea
imagine.
of a post-nuclear winter, someone finding some artifact from North Korea. Let's go further in the future that they blow up the States. They blow up Sydney.
Look,
They blow up.
The only thing they'd fucking find in North Korea is Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. What? Why? Why that? Why him? Why?
Come on, it's Dennis Rodman. You don't need to ask that. It's like, dude's fucking crazy.
I kind of admire him though. The fact that he did that.
He's got balls.
He's got balls.
He's got the biggest balls
he
ever.
Probably, you know what? He probably realized that he has got the biggest balls. He's got the biggest diplomatic balls. He said, "I am the only one weird enough to defuse this situation."
But he's not diffusing shit. It's like
he's not diffusing
The only
nuclear
thing that's
war.
happening is that Dennis Rodman is appearing in North Korea, which is like
for Vice.
There's got to be like a Family Guy fucking episode on that. It's
Yeah.
like that's the only thing that's happening. He ain't doing shit. It's like he's just like, oh, Dennis Rodman's in North Korea again. It's just like, do you remember playing SimCity? Actually, no, you're probably
no.
Oh yeah. Okay, in SimCity at the bottom, they used to have a running news feed of ridiculous news that would happen
remember,
in
yeah.
SimCity. That's the kind of shit that I just imagine it's like Dennis Rodman. You know what I mean? It was always full of ridiculous shit.
Dennis Rodman.
And at the bottom it was like, Dennis Rodman visits North Korea. Again.
Again.
It's just like this
He did do it
ridiculous
twice, didn't he?
SimCity shit. It's like, you can't even make this shit up. It's so ridiculous.
it's kind of fucked. How do you feel about that as a dad? Are you like concerned? Like,
About Dennis Rodman.
About Dennis Rodman, about climate change, about Rodman, about
Look,
Trump.
I'm a massive basketball fan, and I'll be showing Alfie all of Dennis Rodman's amazing shit. Best rebounder ever in basketball, ever. But
Is
dude's
he-
a fucking loose cannon.
Yeah.
Total loose cannon.
It's kind of like, Kanye
He's a fame
West.
whore. Like, a total fame whore.
Yeah, a Kanye West, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About as talented, I think, too.
You don't like the... Wait, you were just saying he's very talented, so that was saying Kanye West is very talented.
Same kind of crazy
Talent. Yeah.
vibe, something
Like
quite
Michael Jackson
unhinged
was
about
unbelievably
it.
talented, but he was clearly fucking crazy, and not every song he did was brilliant. And
Let's pause on that Michael Jackson while I do a whiz.
it just seems weird, right? Because he had all those sort of accusations of child molestation, and then why did everyone just forget about it? Like, everyone was just like the best guy.
Because America loves to forget about that shit. It's like...
But okay, when people do bad shit, right now they don't forgive him.
Yeah.
I mean, and I was about to say, look at Cosby, not saying Cosby should be forgiven, because that was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Over a very, very fucking long premeditated period of time.
Yeah.
By which there should have been many periods of, oh my god, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone just that's one thing that gives me the shits, actually, when people just ignore when. Sometimes, like, all I hear about someone before their death is just fucking insults, everything bad about them, everything they've ever done wrong, and their terrible place in history. And then when they die, it's like the greatest thing. Like, did you ever hear a fucking positive word about Kerry Packer before he died? Like, that was fucked.
Chester Bennington.
Yeah, actually, that is actually probably another good example. It was pretty, actually...
Oh, I didn't realize so many people liked him. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was surprising to me. Like, I wasn't like I wasn't like hurt by it, but I was... he was a young man that committed suicide that was in the limelight. It was kind of...
Apparently he was murdered.
Oh, by... Oh, no, I'm not going to make that joke.
No, apparently the thing is, like, everyone's like, oh, he was fucking murdered.
Yeah, but they said that
and
about...
apparently Chris Cornell was murdered too.
Oh, so it's the same guy. Chris Cornell affected me. Like, that was unexpected. And by affected me, I don't mean, like...
It's always shit when someone who has a family, like, it's like...
Yeah.
Does that, you know what I mean? It's like... I mean, it's bad.
It's bad because
it is, but it's like...
It's bad that they couldn't...
It's like, you have a lot of money and... You probably, don't have much to worry about, so why are you doing that?
Yeah, but how do you... how... Clearly there's something that is not cured by money is happening, and why would you... I don't know. It was just surprising, particularly with Chris Cornell, because it felt like he had a good run, generally.
Yeah.
In Audio Slave, and he was sober, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Was he? Yeah.
He was...
I know, you can never tell, because it's like,
No.
look, Carrie Fisher died. You know what they found in their system? Heroin, coke. They found a shitload of drugs in the system. It's like, Carrie Fisher.
Really?
Yeah, she's over... Dude, look
I
it up.
knew she did shitloads of drugs. I didn't know that she was doing them that late.
Yeah, look it up. It's insane. It's insane. It's like, and no one knew.
I bet you some people knew.
Well,
yeah. But
also Prince. Look at Prince. It's like...
Oh, yeah, but Prince, okay, that I would have assumed that. Carrie Fisher, I probably would have assumed that too, because she was fucking hilarious and really, like...
I think people are very good at keeping their demons secret.
I've heard like recent stories about, just friends of mine that have, say, they'll kind of brush off stuff about, say they have a shitty boyfriend or something like that. Then it'll be just this kind of, oh, you know what Australian blokes are like, or, just not talking about their feelings, or, calling me a dickhead or something like that. It's just this thing of I cannot believe we're still there. And I don't mean that in this really... You have to... The one thing that I get really frustrated by people my age and people younger and people slightly older is this Twitter, echo chamber that everyone lives in, and they're constantly calling out identity politics and constantly calling out, it's 2017, why are we saying this? And it's like, okay, to give people some time to change. You have to wait a little bit. And that always frustrates me quite a lot. But for some reason, the old trope of the man that doesn't want to express his feelings and is still kind of somewhat looked up to or somewhat respected. I don't know. It's
particularly after we had the whole metrosexual thing.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I thought that was like a revolution.
But was that a feelings thing or was that a style thing? That was just another blokey bloke trying to find another way to get laid in a way.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And everyone had that mullet.
I think we're going to need the next generation, I think. We're still in a generation, and particularly my generation, where our parents were still from that generation where we didn't really show much emotion.
Right.
Definitely
but you be on the you're on Gen Y.
I'm on the
You're
cusp.
Gen Y.
Apparently I was reading that I'm a micro generation in between Gen Y and millennials.
Right.
Apparently. I don't know.
I think I might be cutting it a bit fine when you start getting into... And I think I
didn't even know there was such a thing as a micro generation. It's like, okay, fair enough. All right, sure.
It's like a micro generation.
Our generation, like our parents came from, they're baby boomers. They came from slightly post-war thing. And it was like,
You still had the war hangover.
My grandparents were not big. I only knew my grandmothers. I didn't really know my grandfathers, but they were all very staunch. Not a lot of emotion going on there.
Melbourne is great.
It is good.
It is good.
Fucking awesome.
It is good. My girlfriend's from Melbourne, and
I'm from Melbourne. Born in Melbourne.
I thought you were born
in Melbourne.
Born in Melbourne, raised in Adelaide.
Yep.
Year 11 in Sydney.
Yep.
Again.
Yep. Again.
But Melbourne, I don't understand. How can it be so cut and dry, Sydney and Melbourne? How can it be like that? It's fucked.
It's pretty easy once you've been to both cities. It's like,
I get it.
This city's awesome, and this city is shit.
This city tries to make things easier for people to do interesting things. This city will do anything in its power to stop you doing anything interesting, unless it's, I said this in another podcast, Kate Blanchett art.
Totally.
Nothing against Kate Blanchett. She's wonderful.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. But I mean, she's
Galadriel.
She is Galadriel.
That Galadriel scary voice was something that I noticed in the Gorgon album.
I always talk like this. I'd love to do a house party.
Me too.
Never done it.
I would love to do one. I would love to do one where
to get
the
asked.
table tennis table is out there.
You should do it. Yeah, just do it.
I got neighbours to think about, man. There's young kids.
Actually, yeah.
There's young kids. There's kids all
Fuck
around.
young kids.
If you had a neighbour,
They don't know shit.
They don't know shit.
And you know what? They can't speak English, so they can't even speak, so they can't rat on you.
They're not literate.
No, not literate.
Yeah, well, it's still, that's the thing. You have to think about the kids. You have to think about the children and the old people and everyone else. But you're part of this now, man, because you're a family man. So but you aren't going to be the one to complain about.
If you wanted to play a show in my laneway, I'd be like, yes. Do you need power? I can give you extension leads.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah, actually, you're not the best example of this. Well, he was another weird example. So, I already delved into that in another one. But here's the weird thing, though, that they put on these amazing shows. Like they've got a really like a big mixer. They waited. They were looking around for a couple of years, sort of in the
Big
back of their
mixer
minds.
is in like a large person mixing, or like a big mixer, as in like a large mixing desk.
A large mixing console
Right.
with a medium man behind it.
Right, okay.
And the medium man does a great job. In fact, I think it is actually Dickie, the guy interviewed.
Oh,
and,
right.
and he doesn't know anything about sound, but he makes it sound fucking amazing by chance. It's great.
Right.
And
Got good ears.
He has got good ears. And he's a good dude too, because, you know, he's in his 30s and he's just like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And they put on amazing shows, amazing acts, and they're up against fucking everything. And
Yeah.
I think it's only going to last another year because there's a set of apartments going up next door. And so that's
apartments. Fuck.
Yeah.
Sydney is just apartments,
Mm.
isn't it?
At the same time, how else do you solve the fucking housing
Exactly.
price situation?
Yeah.
I can't.
Move to Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Move to Adelaide. It's beautiful.
Adelaide is the only one with like Melbourne's pretty crazy housing.
Yeah.
Then again, it is like it's always weird with Melbourne because everyone's just like house prices are out of control, particularly in Sydney and Melbourne. I'm just like, all right, but Melbourne house prices are like 2/3 of
They're
Sydney.
pretty good,
They're
actually.
like compared
Yeah.
to Sydney,
And
if-
rent is amazing. You can get an
the
amazing
rent,
place.
the rent is fucked.
Okay, so back in the day, we used to be still friends with this band called The Suits. We used to play with all the time.
Right.
And we went to stay with them one time. We went down to play somewhere, and those guys were renting an nursing home. It was had 11 rooms.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
ginormous for the price that someone was renting some shitty place up here.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I don't understand
It was also
it.
haunted too.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure it was. Imagine would anyone have died at this nursing home?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be like a plant,
Yeah.
like a
In
manufacturing.
the middle of the night, there were kids playing outside, and we were like, I'm drunk, but I'm not that drunk. Are you guys hearing this? And everyone was like, yes.
If I had a place like that and I was a band and had heaps of gear and stuff, I would just be putting up a big set of speakers and
Yeah.
putting some reverb on the microphone.
Definitely.
And swing sets and a few bicycle bells. That would be good. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh no, actually, that just sounds like a fun, good times of childhood rather than scary.
It would be scary if you did it during the night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something about driving a bike at night.
Yeah. Scary.
Um,
Anyway.
No.
Yes, Melbourne is so much cheaper than Sydney. And look, I love Sydney, but it's better.
Melbourne.
Yeah.
Culturally,
it's better.
Yes, no, I agree.
Culturally, it's better. Musically, it's better. There's more places to go and see bands.
I don't know.
you know?
Okay, musically it's better, but what about artist-wise? Because there's been some pretty fucking amazing bands come out of Sydney.
Oh, of course. Oh, no. That's not in question.
Right, you're just talking about the
I'm talking about
framework.
literally where to play,
Yeah.
infrastructure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so much better. I definitely not talent-wise.
No, talent-wise.
Come
Well,
on.
because even with talent-wise, there's almost something great about being in Sydney simply because something about that art from adversity, or it's like, oh, you have to...
But the thing is, Melbourne people, they always talk about, fuck Sydney.
Yeah.
But no Sydney people ever go, fuck Melbourne.
No.
They're like, Melbourne's awesome.
Yeah.
Melbourne people be like, fuck Sydney.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dudes.
It's kind of like, I don't know, it's almost... This is a very extreme example, and it's not quite right, but New York versus LA. It's, Sydney is the car city, and Melbourne is the car city as well, but it lends itself to trams and
That's because it's designed
immaculately.
a million times
Yeah.
better than Sydney. It's
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it is also, I mean, this lockout shit is crazy. The fact that you couldn't get your gear is...
Yeah, that's bad. It's like, it's all got to do with King's Cross. That's the only, it's you idiot.
Yeah.
And of course, Barangaroo and the casino are exempt, strangely enough.
Isn't that...
From the lockout laws. It's like...
When you saw that map, you saw the map I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
map of the lockout law area just stopping.
Yeah.
Just stopping at this one street.
It's like, isn't this illegal?
I was thinking, this isn't... When I saw that map, I'm like, this is not fucking corrupt. This isn't Colombia. This isn't fucking in the 90s or whatever.
This isn't 70s fucking New York. It's
this is... Yeah, it's not fucking 42nd Street, taxi driver shit. It's...
Yeah.
We're supposed to have checks and balances in place, and this clearly flouts them.
Yep.
And needs to be... And just escapes every legal avenue because it's tender, and it's...
I think the Barangaroo shit is some of the most is. I can't believe it happened again. Like
Yeah.
it's like I can't believe it happened again. How did it happen? We had all that space.
Oh yeah, Sydney.
It's just well, you made some great music out of here. I always enjoyed. I don't know. You don't really make any geographical. Oh, you did. You said you had the Cop City music, and you said when the politicians get to King's Cross. Oh shit! What a fucking that is a prediction that came true, right?
Sure.
Was that what you were talking about? What did you mean when the politicians come to King's Cross? Was it just words?
Look, if you think that Potts Point, right?
Sure.
You can't have that much real estate around there, and it's going to happen.
It's the only way really
You know
in
what
or
I mean?
out, isn't it? Yeah.
It's going to happen. Same way as Redfern's going to happen.
Yeah.
So those towers are coming down.
Yep.
They're coming down.
You mean like the Waterloo Towers, kind of?
Redfern Towers, Waterloo Towers.
What's the Redfern Towers?
The towers.
Oh, Redfern. I forget how big Redfern is, so sometimes I think I forget it has the
towers.
eastern side.
Those things are either coming down or they're getting, or that is turfing everybody out.
Everyone's slowly getting turfed out from these areas, exactly as you said.
Totally.
Not people aren't getting turfed out of Barangaroo, but it's somehow turned into something for the rich folk, or it's turned into something.
A playground.
Not for you. Not for you is the point.
No.
And
it's a KPMG playground.
Isn't it fucked? Like, there's like a study that apparently people with there's a few studies that people with more expensive cars are much more likely to cut you off to be the fucking person that doesn't queue up in the lane and just scoops in at the last minute.
One day that I don't take Alfie to school that some shit doesn't happen, and the one person that does it is driving one of those behemoth Audi, BMW, fucking mum tanks. He does not know how to fucking drive it.
That should be a music genre,
dude. Let's do it.
Mum tank.
They don't know how to fucking drive the thing. It's like,
yeah,
I need one of those Russian webcams. Russians love those cams.
Oh yeah, the dash cams.
Yeah. I need one of them. I want to make like a massive YouTube thing of that.
You'll never dent the sheer popularity of all those Meteor videos. Have you seen those?
But just like general like Russian crashes are insane.
Why do they love dash cams so much in Russia? It seems odd.
It's pretty boring up there, I think.
You got to find ways to entertain yourself.
Yeah, it's like I reckon they just like get home and like
I don't know. I remember
just
it's
make
like
reels of that stuff.
My image of the average Russian household is a cartoon of what it would actually be like. It's
probably not that dissimilar.
Well, I don't know anything about Russia.
Apparently there's like an extreme percentage of men die early from vodka consumption.
Really?
They drink that shit like it's water. Because when it's that cold, it tastes like fucking water.
Well, because they got the reputation as the Russians with the vodka, with the big drinkers, as you do with Ireland, as you do with Australia.
Dude, let me lay this one on you. It's like, up until very recently, beer was not considered an alcoholic beverage.
Wow.
Yeah. It has to be over a certain percentage for it to be considered an alcoholic beverage in Russia until very recently.
That's pretty fucked.
Scary.
Yeah.
Very scary.
It's not really... It's not scary because when I think scary, I think the future and this is the past. Because it's changed, right? Or that was what you're leading to.
I think it's pretty scary, a country that big with a lot of people very drunk going, I'm not drunk. Like, I'm not... Officially, I'm not drunk.
Yeah. I think, yeah, exactly.
It's like, I'll drink that. It's like in like 1200 AD, it's like kids were drinking beer. It's like, this is kind of the same thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like...
I don't know. It's pretty fucked. And the weird thing is that I've been... It's pretty fucked. What does that fucking mean? I don't know. But it's weird because I haven't learned anything about Russia until recently. I keep tripping over every fucking thing I'm saying. I don't know much about Russia. I've been watching World War II documentaries.
Does.
No, nobody does.
Nobody does.
The FBI is learning more, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a slight ban on discussing Trump on the podcast. Not because I don't think he's worth discussing. I think he's the absolute most pressing thing in the entire world discussing, except for the impending nuclear war that we're not quite sure is going to happen or will not, or if it's frightening. but because everything is changing so fast that if this comes out in 6 weeks' time, it's old news. Who cares about that time that Trump fucked up everything in early September 2017? It's going to be done by whenever this comes out in October. It's weird. But anyway, returning to World War II and Russia.
The Cold War.
Pre-Cold War. Russia's fucking big.
It's very, very big.
And the Germans didn't know what they were going up against.
No, idiots.
Idiots.
Absolute idiots. Rushing into that front, and none of them were prepared for Cold War. Like,
No.
literally winter
Literally
war.
Cold War, yeah.
They were not prepared for it.
Why?
Absolute idiots.
That was apparently one of the things that was just like, oh, well, Hitler fucked up there. He had it. He had it. I mean, not that he had the right ideas, but yeah.
He fucked up because he didn't want to. He wanted to take He wanted to take St. Petersburg before he wanted to take Moscow or something like that. He went the wrong route.
He went up. He took. I think he surrounded St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
Or Leningrad, as it was known in the day.
Yeah.
Thank you, World War II in color, available on Netflix now. And but the point was because he knew that he could not run that empire financially self-sustainably if he did not control the Russian oil fields.
Yeah.
But strategically, you mean city-wise?
Why bother though? It's like you don't have the troops for that fucking country.
Yeah.
It's like, why bother?
Yeah.
It's like that country is massive. What did you?
But it was close for
What
a
did you
bit.
expect to do? Like, basically just like take a couple of cities and like breed, and then
Yeah.
like hope that fucking they take them. It's like.
It's so big. Why did he
The
think
outer
that,
reaches
like, it's
of Russia,
hard
it's
enough
like
to get there?
You've got like Chinese Russia, which is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, insane.
Was that the case back then? I don't know what the shape of Russia was at the time.
I mean, yeah, you've got Russia.
I know it
any
extended
kind
to
of
the
Russia
Atlantic.
close to Mongolia. It's like it's a totally different country to what it is over in the east. It's like
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
different. It's like, what did you expect? What? Then you're gonna take China? It's like, you don't have the people. you literally don't have the people, dude. It's like
you want to be able to fill a building,
Yeah.
you know? And it seems so stupid because they were covering all this ground and stuff, and they're just going, oh, and then they realized how big Russia was. Why would you try and take that much land? It just seems silly.
idiots.
Anyway, that's obviously first on my list of topics to talk about Simon Carter with, the invasion of Russia by the Third Reich. But I tell you, this guy Hitler, the more I learn about him, I don't like him.
I don't like him either. But Stalin was worse.
He was. Stalin was
Totally worse.
He killed way more people.
Yeah, but Hitler made the decision and was like, okay, look, Stalin is gonna fuck me either way. So it's like I have to invade that country. He had no choice. He had to do it.
Yeah.
Because Stalin was gonna fuck it.
Yep. So where do you think that North Korea are going to nuke next? Because it's getting
they're gonna
fucking
nuke themselves, really.
It seems very frightening at the moment. And I was just doing a little Google map. It looks
but don't get too frightened though. This is the thing. Like, I love fucking media. I love the way they're just
You love the
frightening
media.
the shit out of people.
When has
It's
anyone
like,
ever said that?
you've got a fucking third world James Bond country.
Yes.
With a dictator.
That
right?
scene in Die Another Day at the beginning?
Yeah.
With the
right
tank?
next to South Korea and Japan, who are one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world, who have missile defense systems, which will fucking, destroy a gnat that comes out of... It's like, when you fire, like, a 1920s missile...
Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il worked shoulder to shoulder so as to build on this land a country good to live in.
They're not going to do shit.
Yep. No, I don't think that they will. I just wish that all this tension did not come to a point while Donald Trump was president. Like anyone else.
He has stoked the fire, though. He wants it. It's like, he
he
wants
wants
a war.
it.
He wants a war.
Oh,
And it's like,
he gets a war. His
he
popularity
just
goes
managed
up.
to pick the most hilarious... I know it's not funny, but it kind of is.
Kim Il-sung once said that Kim Jong-il's ideas, leadership, and traits originated from his love for the people.
It's like a James Bond movie. It's like
No, it's
living in the fucking Like, it's like, they're ridiculous. That country's ridiculous.
The weird thing is knowing North Korea has as many people in it as Australia.
Yeah.
Isn't that just like completely
ridiculous.
Fucked?
It's
Australia
ridiculous.
is so
Like-
many people.
Ridiculous.
Simon Carter, it's honestly such a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you.
Your face looks uncomfortable as I am praising you, but it's an odd thing to do sometimes. Just stare at someone and say thank you. But I've been such a huge fan of yours for so many years, and you did not have to come on tonight. And you this podcast hasn't even started, and you don't know me, and you don't owe me anything.
I feel I know you.
After tonight,
I've used your toilet.
And doesn't it smell nice in there?
It's really good.
Yeah. There's some really nice reeds in there.
Yeah.
But
Reeds, rushes on the ground, medieval. I like it.
Anyway, you didn't have to come on, and one thing I wanted to mention is that only about say 14 months ago, I was trying really hard to get some gigs with my band, and I would not. You can barely get anyone to fucking reply to you, and you're just trying to get support slots, but the problem is the bands only know other bands, and they won't give you a chance. And it's not anything evil, it's just the way it is, because people know people and they're friends. But it's really hard to get a gig when you are a new band starting. And I emailed you out of nowhere, not expecting anything remotely. All I knew was that the Cops were doing some shows, and it was maybe a chance. And you were pretty much the only one that replied. And you said yes. The Cops didn't do any more shows, but then that's okay. I saw that while I was at work, and it really made a really big difference to me. And I don't think that I would have had the motivation to really carry out the year with the amount of work that was required. Just to get it really gave me the push that I needed. So that was a huge monologue. And thanks to you, where I didn't let you speak at all. But there's something to be said about people that encourage and
Just be nice.
Just be nice.
Just be nice to people.
Well, you were really nice to me, and thank you. And thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
So really, we just end on a big
I don't know why I was
monologue.
talking
No, exactly.
I was talking like Michael Jackson, and I was like, thanks very much for having me. Please.
Then after a while, I just started talking
Thank
like
you.
this.
It's the mic.
That was The Simpsons. Wasn't that a weird episode? Why did he do that?
It's so weird.
It's just one off this Michael Jackson
It's
Simpsons.
so good, though. It's so good. It's like, I know, but he was like this like big fat dude. It's like, what?
Why is that the story?
Because I think Michael Jackson's really confused, and I think that he thought that maybe it was okay
To do that storyline.
Yeah.
I suppose. It does fit with what he wanted. Speaking of what people wanted,
Yeah.
is there a song, Simon Carter, of the Cops and Beat Club and everything? What would you like to end on tonight?
One of my songs?
No, anyone's songs.
Oh, okay.
Preferably a popular one from history that I can easily make
Oh,
fun
okay.
of. But
Right.
it doesn't have to be.
Wow, put on a spot. Okay, let's do.
We can do anything. You can take some time. You can phone a friend.
Let's do "In the Navy."
That sounds like a great idea. Let's listen to "In the Navy" by
YMCA.
What were the band
Village
called again?
People.
Village People. Yeah. Let's listen to "In the Navy."
This is going to be played at my funeral.
Thank you, Simon.
Stop the boats in the Navy. You can sail 7 seas in the Navy. And you put your mind to ease in the Navy. Hello, the government would like you to join in the Navy.
The most compassionate thing you can do is stop the boats.
Destroy all enemies. Join the Navy. Become a killing machine. Do your job. The tanks of the oceans in the Navy.
Aren't y'all fucking hired killers?
It's the motherfucking Navy. Hello, I would like a weapon, please. In the Navy. Motherfucker.
Gays in the military.
Aquatic Army.
Bonus bracket.
I'm ultra serious. I've told my wife that you have to fucking play "In the Navy" at my funeral.
It would be.
He's like, I'm not fucking doing it. I'm like, yeah, fucking have to.
But maybe it could be
I
like
told you have to do it.
What if it's a slow version?
No, has to be the original version. In the Navy.
I think a slow version would work.
Dude, I want dance version, original version.
Same BPM?
Yeah.
Even faster?
No. Just as is. Perfect.
Yeah, it would beat the usual quirky, oh, here's the fun song I want at my funeral, I'll play Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
And it's done now. It's done. It's last
so done.
week.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'm not returning that email.
End bracket.